Here are 5 mysterious deaths that are widely thought to be cover-ups. Number 5. Frederick Valentin. In 1978, this pilot disappeared completely mid-flight. During his last radio communication, he said a long and metallic aircraft was orbiting 1,000 feet above him. He said the aircraft had green lights and was flying impossibly fast. Then there was a brief silence until he said, "It is hovering and it is not an aircraft." This was followed by 17 seconds of metallic scraping sounds, then all contact was lost. No trace of him or his aircraft was ever found. Number 4. Gareth Williams, or the spy in a suitcase. In 2010, Williams, a British spy, was found dead, trapped inside of a suitcase, padlocked from the outside in the bathtub of his London flat. No fingerprints were discovered on the padlock or the bag's zipper. There was practically no DNA evidence. The heating was turned all the way up in the apartment, which accelerated the body's decomposition. Williams had recently reported suspecting a mole was in the agency. Regardless, the police concluded that he just took his own life. Number 3. Eliza Lamb. She was found dead in a water tank on top of a hotel after being missing for a week. Supposedly, she just climbed in the water tank and offed herself. However, there is surveillance footage that shows her acting very strangely in the elevator of the hotel. People suggest she looks disturbed, panicked, and almost like she's hiding from someone following her. A couple problems are any non-staff member going up to the roof would trigger an alarm. The water tank would have needed a ladder to get into, and she would have had to put the lid back on while inside. All of Eliza's clothes were removed and found separately. Number 2, huge scandal, Dr. David Kelly. Kelly just broke the story on how the UK government had faked evidence that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, meaning that the country was unjustly going to war. He was summoned to testify before a parliamentary committee, and a few days later he was found dead in a wooded area 2 miles from his house. He had cuts on his arms and a pack of painkillers by his side. However, there was no fingerprints found on the knife or the packs of painkillers. None of the accounts of how the body was found match each other, and on the day he died, before his body had been found, his dentist noticed that his entire medical history had disappeared. Number 1 is very strange, very mysterious, but before I get to it, if you like fucked up shit like this, please just drop me a follow, it really helps me out. Number 1 is Jean Bennett Ramsey, a 5-year-old girl found dead in her family's basement several hours after her mother allegedly found a ransom note demanding $118,000. Jean Bennett had been strangled and suffered a skull fracture, and there was a lot of suspicion towards her extremely wealthy parents. And this was because quite a lot of pieces of circumstantial evidence. First, the ransom note was weirdly long and was found to be written with pen and paper from their own house. They also found a draft version of the note in the house as well. There's also no signs of forced entry, which meant someone already inside the house was likely the culprit. And fibers from the mum's clothing were found on the duct tape that covered the little girl's mouth. The investigation still found that the parents were conclusively innocent of any wrongdoing, and the parents successfully sued many people that publicly implicated them for hundreds of millions of dollars. So I agree that they did nothing wrong, and it's a shame the killer wasn't caught.